116 Hotline.
It's Sadie.
It's Valerie.
And this is Satana. Welcome back. Or
Welcome,
if this
welcome.
is your first time listening to 116th Hotline and you're like, what is this podcast? We are a
Trio
of
sisters.
and we're just here to conversate. We're here to
We're here
unpack.
to freaking chatter. We
Yeah.
just gonna
Shit.
talk into this
Bang,
camera,
bang.
talk into this microphone,
Talking to your ear.
talk into your ear. Whether you're driving,
Yes.
whether you're bathing,
Yes.
whether you're sleeping,
Whether you're watching.
studying, whether you're
Yes.
watching, whether you're doing something you shouldn't be doing.
We are your friend group that you never had, or the friend group that you wish you had. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Welcome to the team.
And welcome to Tea. And the hotline is ringing, so you
Ring,
better
ring. Pick it up.
It's hot.
Okay, that was a good intro. I love it.
thumbnail.
Love it. For
Oh, we forgot to do
ready
the thumbnail for the
Ready?
last one.
Let's
That's
do this
okay.
one. How about this one? Let's just do. So, hey, can you keep that in there? In the video? No, seriously, 'cause
Yeah.
there will be like laughing. They're like, oh my gosh, they're so
I
funny.
will. I know.
Such a small nose. Look how tiny.
Why are you talking about my nose?
Look, turn to the side.
She does have a petite nose.
like a butt.
Is it
like
tiny?
like Betty Boop.
It's a button nose.
A button nose.
3 eyes and a button nose.
Can you keep this part?
Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you. Thank
We
you.
appreciate it.
Yes.
Anyways,
Anyways, we all got back
From a
got back
trip.
from trips. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, me and Sadie went on a trip to Vegas, and Sutiana went on a road trip to Eureka Springs.
skirt, skirt.
And you know,
You what?
Spit it out, sister.
You what?
I was
Unpack
listening
that.
to the background. Hold on, I thought I heard something. Okay, so I was gonna say that I have never really been a person of travel, just because whenever I was married, I didn't really go anywhere because my previous significant other didn't believe in trips or
Very much sheltered.
very much shelter, very much stay home, waste of money, and you don't have to do that, blah blah blah. And so I never went on trips, road trips. I never did any of that, but I've always wanted to, because Sadie always does it. She always does it, and like she like, you know, it's just like gotta go on like a weekend trip or go to the beach or something.
Yeah.
And so, of course, you know, whenever me and that person split up, like I finally went on my first solo trip
Ooh.
to Georgia, and then I went on another solo trip to Miami. And
Oh, that's right. You've been too.
yes,
Ooh.
and I actually have another trip that's coming up soon that I'm taking my boys with me, and it'll be their first time on the airplane.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't know, I
So
just
exciting.
feel like it costs a lot of money to travel. And me, I am a terrible budgeter. And
She ain't lying. She ain't lying.
I'm terrible. I'm really terrible at budgeting, and I probably spend more than I have. I do spend more than I have, but I don't know. I think it's just because it's like I want to do so much, you know, and I want to travel and I want to experience,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I literally
Never
for
got a
10 years
chance
of
to.
my life, I never got to travel and experience. So it's like now that I'm out of that position, I want to travel,
It's
and
valid.
Like you have the opportunity
Yes.
to do it now.
Yeah, like
so,
nothing's holding me back now to
Yeah.
travel.
Yeah.
Now the boys are going to be going with me for this trip to for their birthday trip, and I'm really excited because it'll be their first time on an airplane, and it'll be our
Levi
first
too,
time.
right?
Yeah, Levi
Yeah.
and
I think
Abby.
both of them.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
It'll be their
Gosh.
first time on an airplane, and it'll be my first time traveling alone with the kids. Oh, actually, no, not alone. It wouldn't be my first time. It'll be the second time. But I don't know. I'm just
Out
so
of state,
excited.
though?
Yeah, out of state.
Out of state.
Yeah.
So it's
Like
a
far
big,
away.
big travel,
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just excited because it's gonna be like right off of the beach, and like everything's like close by. Like the airport is close to where we're staying at, and so everything is close. So I feel safe because it's not like we have to go out randomly
Super
into
far.
neighborhoods and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just so excited because I finally get the chance to travel, and then I get to share it with Levi and Athy, and I'm so excited. But
I just want to say something that traveling with your family, like,
has its pros and cons.
Yeah, it's such a special moment. I think, and especially in your case, Valerie, that this is really the first time that you guys are taking a family trip.
Yeah.
Just you three, and intimate, building new memories. Also,
I also want to throw it out there. Sorry to cut you off, Tana. I tend to do that a lot, but sorry.
we all do that to each other. Okay?
We do, but it keeps the conversation going. Anyway, I love that you are doing it at this time because your boys are at the age where they have they will have good memories that will remember it.
Yep.
Oh yes, it would be core memory. For them. Their first their first vacation at the beach.
I know.
Yes,
they're gonna remember that for sure.
Like whenever we did the road trip to California when we were little, long time ago. I think I was the same age that Levi was actually.
Really?
Because it's the with the picture of us at Salt Lake City.
Oh yeah, we were young.
I remember
we were young. I was probably
like a tiny.
Yeah, I was probably like 6.
Yeah.
I don't remember much.
So it now that I'm thinking about it out loud and saying out loud, it kind of comes full circle because this will be Levi and Atticus' first trip. And so I know that they're going to remember it because I remember that was our first trip, literally driving from Wisconsin to California.
Yes,
Dang,
to go visit.
I didn't know you guys did that.
Yeah, when we were little and we would stop and spend the night in a motel.
Yes, and I remember we got so car sick because we were coloring on the coloring books with our crayons, and we just felt I felt super.
We were in those old school vans.
Yes, and we even stopped at motels. I'm not talking about hotels. Motels.
We slept in motels before too.
We just to brush our teeth and
rest a little bit.
But the reason why I wanted to bring that up is because you were talking about how you're going on this trip with you and the boys. But it was brought to my attention the other day that I think that taking a trip with your family, whether that be your own personal, immediate, intimate family, or else your family as in your siblings, cousins, and your mom and dad relatives, or whatever, versus with your friends, it's so, in my opinion, I feel that every aspect has its own pros and cons, but all have different things that can attribute to your life. Yes. So not one is more important than the other, or not one is more in favorable of the other. And I think as we all three we're very outgoing individuals, and we love to travel. We love to just explore. I think that's how all three of us are. We're just very open-minded. And I get a lot of backlash, even for those trips we went to for Colorado, for Giveon. I got a lot of backlash for those 2 trips, and it's been brought to my attention that it's been said, why don't you like to experience those with your family? As in me, my husband, and my children. Why do I only want to go with the girls? And I said, why can't I do both? It's different. Why do I have to choose one or the other? Why can't I do both? And like I said earlier, each one is not more favorable over the other. And if you agree to disagree, let me know in the comments, because that's how I feel. Not one more is important over the other. I feel that all has their own pros and cons, and all really does have its own perks to how it impacts your life.
I feel like there's a time and place for everything. Yeah. And like you said, one just maybe more fitting with the others,
it's equally as important, but one's gonna have a different a characteristic and vibe with because you're not gonna go to the club and to the bar with Oliver.
And let's face it, when you are the mother, or when you are the sole caretaker of the group, whether that be just a friend group or whatever, if you are the sole person that is quote unquote the mom of the group, you're always taking care of other people, so you're not really entirely enjoying yourself. I feel that for me, when I do go on vacations with my family, me, my husband, and my kids, really I don't have time to just relax and unplug, because I'm playing the mom role still. I still have to take care of the kids. I still have to take care of the husband if he needs things. And why is it so bad that I need a break too, that I cannot go out and travel with friends or with Sadie and Val without it being looked upon as if I'm doing something that's bad, when in reality I'm literally just living my life.
You know what, I am so glad that you brought that up, because coming from my perspective, because I'm not a mom, I never saw it that way before. That when you travel with your own kids, you still have to be the mom. You still have to, on the back of your mind, you still have to look out for your own kids. Exactly. Because, that's a great point, because, I clearly don't have that, on the back of my mind. To worry about. Yeah, so I respect that.
Yeah, and it's hard because it's why why is it so looked down upon that I go out just to have fun? Yes, I may be a little bit more of myself, I may be a little bit more freeing, but that's because I have the opportunity to, because I can put a pause on all these other responsibilities. Not saying that I don't want them, but why does it, whenever it comes to the women in the family or the caretakers of the group, that it's looked down upon if you just decide to take a moment for yourself and go on vacation, go travel? Why not? I earned that shit, you know, like I work hard.
Yeah,
you know,
for me it's like I'm really happy that I did enjoy my own personal trips, but then like where like the mother aspects, where like the mother aspect part comes in, and the part where it's like going on a trip with your friend is different than going on a trip with your family. Yes. When I'm on a trip by myself or with my friends, I'm like, oh, I wish like Levi and Ati was here to enjoy this, and then that's like a different enjoyment feeling than you know, if like with Sadie and Stan, and then when we go on trips, like it's like a fun feeling, but then with Levi and them, it's fun too, but it's more like sentimental because it's like their babies, and like you're wanting to go for them to experience,
appropriateness.
You know?
And Sadie, I guess the same thing could be said about you when you go on trips with your friends versus with your immediate family.
That's right. That's
because you guys go on road trips, or you every year in the summer.
You guys go to Cali.
Well, it was a tradition for us, but I mean, it's been a while. But that's true. I guess in a sense, I can kind of relate to that. Because whenever I do go and travel with my own family, with my parents and my brothers, like we don't go to clubs.
Right, you guys don't do the same thing.
You know, what's really funny, I just want to throw this out there. Actually told Val and Anna and Nikki this the other day, that a long time ago when we were driving from Oklahoma to California, we made a pit stop in Vegas because my dad just wanted to stop there. So we walked on, I think it was Fremont Street too. And we were younger, and my little brother, sorry to put you out there,
Andy. I think you told me.
He was like, I think maybe Levi's age right now, I think at the time, Levi and Oliver's age. And obviously Vegas is not family friendly.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. And on Fremont Street, you know how there's those girls that are just like half naked with like their titties out.
Yeah.
So I remember Andy was traumatized.
Really?
Because he was a kid. He was like, oh my gosh, like he was just like traumatized from. I remember when afterwards we got back in the car ride, he was like sitting in the back of the car like, like traumatized.
Oh my God.
That is a prime example.
That is a perfect example of the difference between the trip between your friends and trip with your family. That's a perfect example. Because when we went to Vegas, there were so many little kids, little kids, and I'm like, why would you ever? Me, I would never bring my kids to Vegas.
Right?
Yes.
Maybe I'll bring them for their 21st birthday,
but not as children.
But not as children.
Children, it's just not appropriate.
Yes,
in my opinion.
And this is one thing that was brought to my point. Like the point of me and this person's conversation was, oh, you go and enjoy these things with your girls or your friends or whatever. Why don't you want to do it with your family? Because me, if I wanted to go do these things, I will want to enjoy it with my little family. And I'm like, yes, but my concept of that is everyone's connection, especially if you are married, your connection with individuals are not the same as, let's say, your significant other or the same people in the family. And same, it could be said vice versa, right? That the connections aren't always the same. So I feel like, again, with the roles, like you're always in a role of playing this thing. Like, when can I just be myself? When I go with my girls, when I can just
you don't have to worry about nothing, no responsibilities but you,
and just have fun. And you know, that I think, and also that also brings me back to a point that going with Debbie Downers, oh my God,
I fortunately have never really been in a situation where I travel with Debbie Downers. Maybe like a sort of halfway, but not all the way. And I'm so thankful for that.
I have been on a couple of trips.
She's like shaking her head. Can you zoom in this part? Shake your head. There you go.
I have been on a couple of trips with a few Debbie Downers, and
it sucks.
Those trips.
Bruh. That's why they always say that, like, go on a trip with your friends and then that's the true test to see if you guys are really truly authentically friends or not.
Yes, and I think that's what really made our relationship more concrete. Is after our first trip, it was like,
because that was really our first trip ever.
That really was our first.
Ever.
Was it?
Yes,
well, we did like the road trip to Arkansas for the booze cruise.
That doesn't really count.
Like our first ever trip was not until
out of state, until Denver, 2021.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think just going. I've been on a few trips. Disclaimer: I'm not talking about anybody else but me. I've been on a few trips with a few Debbie Downers, and those trips most of the time were not,
it's just
basically we're mandatory. But I think you have to really know yourself as an individual, how you are around other people and their energy. And I think Sadie talked about this a couple of episodes ago, where she said that she can adjust to the vibe or adjust to the energy of the group.
No.
And I'm just like, no, if you are a Debbie Downer, no matter what happens, those Debbie Downers are always going to be in that state of mind where even if everyone is dancing, they're just sitting.
They can't really adjust and try to like vibe off.
Also, and the thing is too, like, everybody has different travel styles.
That's true,
like,
too.
Some people when they travel, they would rather they're like, we're on vacation, so I'm just gonna sleep all day in bed,
or literally just literally nap all day.
For me, I'm like, for me, I'm like, if it's a vacation and I've been stressed, I want to go out and have fun and look at scenery. But that's why it's like the mood and the vibe for the trip has to be talked about beforehand. You know,
period.
Because like in our previous episode, we talked about going itinerary about going on like our previous episode. We talked about what is it? Unwinding and going on a calm trip after, you know. So it's like on that trip, then
you know what to expect.
I know what to expect. I'm not looking forward to blacking out and getting fucking crazy and going to clubs. No, that trip, I'm looking forward to just relaxing, waking up early to the birds singing, you know. But then, like, you know, that's why you just have to know who you're going with, and you have to know what the mood is for the travel for the trip, because if you don't, it's not going to be enjoyable on both parties. I don't know about the other party, but for me, I'm not going to enjoy it. Because
I think an example for that, and I'm just saying this as an example, is like a trip that would fit that description is like maybe a trip where like you said, mandatory, where it's like a bachelorette, if you will, or like a I don't know, like a
bridal shower or
bridal
something.
shower, or maybe even if it's like a family
reunion graduation party,
and you don't really have the time or the
energy.
What is it?
Or like you really don't vibe with,
you don't know people like that, you know?
On a personal level,
where
you
you
gotta go
have
anyways
to meet up and to kind of like vibe off. Those are the type of situations and vacations where I feel like it might not be the best, you know, but I've come to
it's like you're going because that person that you're going for, you love,
you want to show them.
So you just gotta do what you gotta do. Like, I mean, like I said, fortunately I haven't really experienced like Debbie Downers like that to like to an extreme level. But I have talked about this with Leslie before, that in the past, that if I do have to do that, or when I do it, I have come to a realization that I don't care what anybody thinks. I'm gonna have fun regardless for myself, because at the end of the day, we all contributed to this.
And at the end of the day, we all spent money
and to be there. I think we talked about this before, Sadie, that, you know, no matter how other Debbie Downers want to be, I took my own precious time to take time for this event, for this getaway. It's my vacation, so I'm gonna do what I want to do, you know. And I think that's also an important part, is like Valerie said, you always have to kind of generally talk about the vibe before you go. And I think that's what really makes or breaks the trip, because it's like, if you already talk about the vibe before you go, and when you get there it's totally polar opposite, or the energy just not there, the vibe is just not there, I'm like, okay, whatever you do, I'm gonna go have me a good old time, because we talked about it already, you know.
Can I just insert in there that I think we had somebody commented or inserted on our little suggestion of do's and don'ts for travel. So do's, definitely, please talk to the people. Talk about
like
itinerary.
Is this going to be a fun trip? Is this going to be a crazy girls trip, relaxing trip?
Yes. Like, what's the vibe?
That is definitely a do.
That's definitely a do.
Another do, not a do, but suggestion would be itinerary. Me personally,
a loose
itinerary.
Yes. Period.
Loose.
When did we talk about this?
It was like 4 episodes ago.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, it's a.
Clicking now.
I remember we talked about loose.
I would say definitely a loose itinerary. Don't be so strict, but just a general idea of what you guys want to do. Like, for us three, when we went on our trip to Dallas, even to Colorado, even to Giveon, we weren't like, oh, at this restaurant at this time. No, it was just like
1 hour and a half for here, and then an hour for here.
Yeah, it's like during the evening, like, let's go find somewhere to eat.
Yeah,
after eating, maybe go out ? You know, just a general overview, not like we're going to this restaurant at this address at this time.
That's a don't do
because
that.
I think if you don't follow it so strictly, then it's just going to be like draining.
Disaster. And it's gonna be a disaster.
Yes, nothing ever goes as planned. Okay, ever.
Nothing. Even if you try to have it down to the dot.
I want to add another do. Another do is if you're going to do a loose itinerary, make sure that you have outfits planned. I feel like that is such a big one that's not. I mean, you think about planning your outfits, but then I think for people that you don't know, especially if you don't know how people are if this is your first time traveling with them, get your outfits ready. Like, you don't want to be out there waiting for someone for 30 minutes to an hour just because they're getting ready. Like, come on, don't be that person.
Have it like roughly pre-planned.
Yes.
Like,
right. No one likes an unplanned person.
Have like a touring outfit, a walking around outfit, like a going out outfit, brunch outfit, dinner outfit. How many times are you guys going to go out to dinner? Do you want to wear the same outfit that you wore as your previous outfit?
And I think that's something that helped us three a lot when we've traveled together, is really categorizing, like, if we were to do this, then let's have an outfit just in case.
So that's why it's very important to like at least have some kind of itinerary. Yeah, so that way you can prepare.
Because not only are you saving time, but like when you get there, like you really don't know what it's going to be like when you get there. So you're saving time for yourself and for everybody else.
And also money, because I feel that when you forget to bring certain parts of an outfit,
then you go shopping.
You just spend so much more money, and
then if you don't have room to bring it back, and you flew on the airplane, then you gotta,
especially if you flew,
pay for
more stress into the baggage.
What about the don'ts of trips?
So I mean, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it out there. Like you mentioned, don't give me that look. Susanna said, don't go unplanned. You know, like you're not prepared at all. Like, I know that some people, like, they kind of rush, and sometimes they just like throw whatever in their suitcase, aka Anna. Yes, I did call you out. She's remember, and you too, for this last trip. They're like, guys, but then you're not normally like that though. That's why it was just that one time. But then I mean, I guess Anna was pretty prepared because she still got the right outfits, but she was like, I just threw everything in my suitcase and hope I got the best of it. And I'm like, oh, that would stress me out, you know, because what if you don't have something that you actually want to wear? Because we ended up going to Ross, and
really? She did end up buying a dress.
She ended up buying a dress. But I mean, so don't just go like unplanned and just think that everything will be like
fall into place.
Fall into place.
Whether you don't like planning, at least have some
general
idea of what.
However, I don't know. I guess I'm just twisting my words around, because the last year, whenever Leslie and I went to LA. Oh, okay, here we go. Here's the backstory. Because we did not plan to go to LA. We planned to go to Fresno, but then it didn't work out. So it was like a spontaneous thing. So of course we didn't have anything planned. And that is a different scenario.
Yeah, it's different.
We went without like any plans, and then we ended up just kind of like making our plans as we go, and it was beautiful. It was lovely too. But don't plan to go somewhere and not have any backups and plans at all.
My don't would be, don't be a Debbie Downer.
Period. That too.
That's like my number one.
Like, you're there. Like, I feel like
times 10.
If you're being a Debbie Downer, it really does rub off to other people, and like it just rubs off to the mood. Like, if you're really gonna be in a bad mood, or if you know that you have like personal things,
personal beliefs, and you're like, oh, I'm not even gonna happen. Just don't go.
And don't go. Yeah, like, or if you
do
have
everybody a favor and yourself a favor.
Yeah,
just not going.
Or like if you have like personal problems at home that you know that you're gonna be thinking about and worrying about, that like you can't enjoy your trip, then don't go, because then like you probably aren't able to tell, but it can rub off onto other people, and then it just ruins the whole mood. And it's like that might not be your intention, right? But it's like people can tell that you're stressed about other things, you're worried about other things when you should be on vacation.
Your conscience is already putting that out there, and so you're subconsciously putting those signs out there, or putting that bad energy, that bad mood, you know, that Debbie Downer mood.
You know what?
It rubs off onto the physical.
It really does come out.
Yeah.
Sorry. You know what? It's not bad. You know what you need to F up. No, seriously. You know what needs to be more normalized?
What?
I guess this can be one of the do's. Like, whenever you plan a trip, bring that up and say, hey, just FYI, whoever is, knows goes. Like, if you are in this trip conversation group chat, if you have something that it's going to be bothering you the whole time, or what I would say in the nicest, most respectful way, because that's just me, I would say, hey, respectfully, please do not feel obligated to go just because we are planning this. If you have something going on,
if you have personal matters,
we will understand. Like, I will understand from like a heart of place, and say, you know what, it's okay, because I don't want you to not enjoy yourself. And then, like you said, it eventually is going to start rubbing off of us.
Perfect example, me. I had shit that was happening, but then I was deciding that I'm not going to go on the trip. But then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put that away and not think about that and go. And I still had fun and made the best out of it, even though I had shit to worry about at home, because I'm already here. It's not going to help my situation being stressed for home stuff all the way in Vegas.
I think that what you did there, Val, just this past weekend in our trip was, it was very, what is it? What's the word for it? Like, skillful, because not a lot of people can do that, to just put it in the back of their head for now.
It's called being a fake bitch.
Fake it till you make it, like you said.
I think another example of that, what Sadie was talking about, would be on bachelorette parties or bachelorette trips. That is a whole nother topic.
Okay, here.
Who wants to go first?
I'm just gonna go first. Okay.
Raise your hand.
If you've ever been personally victimized on a bachelorette, stop. Okay, but seriously, just from being in previous bachelorette trips, I think I've only been on. I've been on 2. Some of them were, whatever. But then I still made the best out of it, regardless. So me personally, now that I've been on 2, when it comes to my bachelorette, I'm going to put it out there straight up, with me being the bride. I definitely want to enjoy myself, and I want all of my friends to enjoy themselves. So I'm going to I know for a fact I'm going to put it out there. If you somehow don't really vibe with my other friend, blah, 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 or if you have something going on, if you have anything going on at all, please do not feel obligated to go. I will not be offended. I don't care if it's my best friend this. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's my sister.
It's her day.
It's my day. It's my
Drop
trip.
that shit. Drop that shit.
Either drop it and do it for me because you love me, or if you really can't do it, it's okay. I will not be. I honestly would rather you not go because I don't
not bring that negative energy.
I don't want any of that. So and I remember telling this to Brian. I was like, if I have to go on my own, I will. If I have to go on my own, then so be it. Just to enjoy myself, and even if I should just to go with Brian, whatever it is, I just do not. Now that we've gotten older, I just want to be more transparent with the closest people in my life, because I don't want
so funny and that you say that, because I did realize that with myself too. As I get older, I don't care about being more transparent. Versus back then, I'm like, oh, I'm worried what people are going to say.
You're thinking about.
I don't give a fuck from day one.
I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to be honest and transparent.
Yes, because at the end of the day, it's for yourself. It's a vacation in general, and you've spent money and time, like you said, just to have this fun thing. And a bachelorette is very, very important, if you're a bride, but if you're just a bridesmaid, and I get it, if you love that person, you might want to go out and celebrate them. But then if you personally have something going on, then do yourself a favor and the bride a favor,
and exclude yourself.
Because if you are a thoughtful person, then you would not do that. And with me being a thoughtful person, and whenever I do become a bride, I'm just gonna tell you, my friends, straight up, please do not go if you don't feel like going. I will not be offended at all. Show up to the wedding, low blush, whatever, that's it. But do not go on a vacation with me and,
make it a Debbie Downer mood.
Exactly.
And then another thing to the Bachelorette that I just wanted to loosely go over, because I feel like this could be a totally entire different topic for the future. But I've noticed personally, and also with other people that have experienced Bachelorette trips, is the money portion. The money portion on any trip.
Yes.
If you are not putting in your have to go to reserve for the place, or if you're not going to use your card to put down to reserve the place, and you don't put the money up front, or I just feel like if you don't have, if you're not preparing yourself in a way that you're financially able to go, then you shouldn't go. And
I haven't seen that before. I mean, at least I haven't experienced that.
I've known from personal and from other people that have gone on bachelorette trips, where out front everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna go, and then once it gets closer and closer, people start dropping out, and it's like that I feel like
or
on any trip,
birthday trips.
That's like
birthday trips,
or like float trips.
That is
whenever
so
you
not
book
fair
for like a float trip too,
yeah,
you have to pay for it.
It's not fair for the person who up front is the stuff. So I think it goes back to that transparency too, because if I'm going to be the person who, so I want to say that's one of the do's too, is be transparent about the money cost, the flight cost, whatever cost. And also another do is if you are going on a trip, I say book your own shit.
Yes.
Individually. If you're going on a trip and y'all gonna stay in the same hotel or whatever, whatnot, that's cool. Y'all can go half and half or split the money for the rental car and for the hotel. But if you're gonna do a flight, buy your own flight, buy your own shit. The most you can do, because if people start dropping out, you ain't gonna have nothing to fall back on.
Exactly, it's gonna be all back on.
So why not just go on the trip by yourself if it happens to end up being like that? Because people are not responsible, even though they are adults. Not everyone is responsible.
It's like that saying that's like whenever you finally go on the trip, you're like the group trip finally made it out of the group chat. Yeah, because it's like
so true.
A lot of people, they do talk about like going on trips and stuff, but it's like once you start actually planning and booking, and for me, okay, because me and like the group, I like to be the ones to plan it and be like, hey, it's gonna be this much and this much and this much, it's gonna be this much and this much, and then like when people start backing out, then you're like, well, since you backed out, then everybody else's prices is gonna have to go up, and then it's like, if you would have just told us sooner that you were gonna back out, then we could have found a smaller place, so I don't know, it's be mindful.
And granted, we get it, life situations can pop up and happen, you know what I mean, but then I think
just be open
about it, and like Val said, just be mindful. Like as soon as you find out, please reach out. Don't wait until that planner reaches back out and say, hey, so we're all down, and then you come up and say, actually I can't.
I don't want to go anymore,
or I don't want to go anywhere. Like, bro, that's just inconsiderate.
For me, if it's people that do that, I'm like, I'm never ever
inviting them again.
Don't ask them again. Yep.
Period.
So if you know me and you know people that I've been on trips with, and you've never seen me ever going on trips with these people or associating with these people again, that
is why.
That's probably one of the reasons why. And I think that goes for a lot of people that I've been friends with in the past, or whatever, have associated with myself in the past, is if we aren't friends or talking, or you don't see me in pictures with them, the situation speaks for itself. That's all I'm saying.
And it's kind of like, I mean, it doesn't just have to be friends. Like, even maybe sometimes family members.
Can be
definitely family. Because family too is like, oh, we're family. I didn't think I had to pay my portion.
Yes.
Oh, y'all do not. If you going, you pay your motherfucking portion. Baby, I don't work fucking 9 to 5 for nothing.
The bills don't pay for itself.
Do not be a freeloader.
Yes,
please.
I cannot preface that enough. You don't know how many people I've cut out for being a freeloader.
I hate that. Like, I don't understand. Like you said, we're all freaking adults. Why are you going to be a freaking freeloader? It's disgusting behavior.
Yes, I'm a plug in myself because I have had to scrape cents
to cover
coins to when I was in my lowest of lows. So I know a freeloader when I see one. They don't give a shit. They don't do nothing. They're just like, and you know what's funny? I'm just gonna go off on a tangent here. Is those memes where they always say the broke people be the people that you always see going on trips.
Yeah.
It's what in the world are you guys doing that you guys be getting this money for these trips?
Here's the thing. I think these people that they appear as broke are not actually broke. They just got their priorities all wrong. They use their money on something. Because like you said, that little meme, it's something about what do broke people have the most, and then somebody will say audacity. They have the audacity is the first thing they always have, and they always tend to like flex on other things, but then in reality, like
those people that buy like just name brands,
just to
go on
just
trips
to show up
all the time.
DHgate,
DHgate, baby. But no,
buy the knockoffs.
Yeah, that's definitely don't. Yeah. I want to say though, there is a situation where this past weekend where Val, she was in a similar situation, but then it was me, Anna, and Nikki, we were genuinely like, hey, you know, like we will cover for you because we want you to go, you know, not because it wasn't the other way where if I was like, hey guys, you know, I don't have money, but I'm still gonna go, okay?
Yeah.
Like, and that's it. There's a difference.
There is a difference in how
and as soon as I found out, then I let them know, like, I don't think that's why I was saying, like, I didn't think I was even gonna go because I was like, I know I can't afford it, and I know what it's like to have to cover for other people.
All right.
So that's why I was like, I didn't want to have to put that on them. But before I didn't even like ask them to cover for me. They offered.
Because that's the difference. There you go. That's what it
like,
is.
I didn't ask them to be like, hey, you got me, right? No, they're like, no, they were willing. They're like
willing to
like Nikki messaged, as soon as I wrote that, Nikki messaged me personally and was like, just go, you know, I'll cover you, don't worry about it. And I was like, no, like I had too much crap to worry about, and I didn't have enough money, and it was just a whole big mess. But I still went, and I still had fun, and I didn't dwell. But then I wasn't like out like spending their money like it was my money too, you know. So
that's the difference, is that we offered her. She never asked. We were the ones that offered. So we were willing,
I think it all boils down to go on a trip with people that you know you vibe with already.
Yes.
Yep.
That you all have a mutual understanding of what the vibe is generally like when you guys go out.
As well.
Do you have fun when you're together? Do you have any animosity when you're together? Do you actually have a Debbie Downer moment, or is the energy always up when you guys are together? And if most likely you guys are very transparent with each other and have fun a lot of the time, like 99% of the time, it's probably gonna be a very good trip. But if you have someone who is always fronting and always, you know, acting shady, you should never go on a trip with people like that.
More downs than ups with the people.
Yes.
Like in general, whenever you guys hang out, I highly suggest you to not travel.
Don't travel with them, or like, I don't know, just reevaluate
your friendship
because
in general,
or any relationship with them.
Isn't it kind of sad that sometimes it takes a trip to realize who the real friends are?
Because it's it's because then you're hanging out with them like outside of the normal environment, and then they really like they let down their facade, and then you get to see them for how they really are.
It's almost like they're a little bit vulnerable
because it's not in the normal environment.
Yes, because it's not the normal environment. They can't wear that mask that they put on around others. And I think that's something so beautiful. And I, you know, shout out to Nolly. I love you, Nolly.
Nolly.
Whenever we went to BTS, BTS trip with Nolly. I feel like we got a lot closer after that trip. And I think a lot of it does have to do with that. The fact that when you go through certain experiences with someone and you really see their vulnerability in that moment and really see who they are for who they are, it really does show you, okay, I do want to keep this person as a friend, or I do want to keep this relationship.
Either makes or break you.
Yes, it really does.
The trip will either make or break the friendship.
Yes, that's why they always say when you go to Miami, you might not come. You might not come back with a friend because I'm talking about it's hot. People get irritated,
and it's like expensive, and then people show signs about being greedy about money, or like not wanting to help
irritation, not knowing how to be considerate, not knowing how to be mannerism.
It's the whole.
I think it's because also the obvious is that you're spending almost 24 hours with these people, you know, that you usually don't. So when you do, you're just like you said that one episode when you move in with your significant other, you see them like
honeymoon.
from every perspective, and you're like, and then you have to start reevaluating. It's like, oh, whoa, do I like this person?
I know.
Do I like this part? I mean, whenever you like, you know, if you're spending like more than 24 hours plus with somebody, you start seeing every side of them, and you have to really think like,
do I like this person?
Do I like this person as a whole? Like, why is he acting like this? Why is she acting like this? Like,
because I feel like you go with your coworkers, you're just used to seeing your coworkers for like
8 hours a day,
8 to 10 hours a day, and then that's it. And then you don't see each other out. Even if you do see each other outside work, it's like what, for dinner, but that's it. And then if you go on a trip, you're with them 24 hours for up to 3 to 4 days.
You see how they act in 24 hours in their own.
You see if they brush their teeth. You see if they shower. You see if they. If I'm tired, I'm not gonna fucking shower. Sadie, she's gonna shower no matter what.
I don't care.
I'm gonna shower too.
That's the difference.
All the time.
I'm not gonna.
At least you're showering the next morning. That's all that matters. Yep. Okay, but those are prime examples. Like, you don't know how they are literally within 24 hours of the day.
If they snore.
As always,
we upload every Monday, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're at 116th Hotline on all our social media platforms, such as Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Anchor, and YouTube.
Yes, YouTube.
YouTube is the last one.
YouTube, yeah, for sure.
Tune for the
so
next
subscribe, comment, share. Sharing is very important. Let me just say
it's free. It's free to do.
It's free to do, and it also helps us
with the exposure. So that
exposure and also feedback on how and why.
We love feedback.
Why do you like our podcast,
or do you hate it? Do you listen to it because you hate us so much?
What else would you like to hear?
That you're just nosy.
That you're just so nosy, and you want to hear us talking because we might be talking about.
How are these girls almost at 30 episodes? What the heck do they even talk about?
They must have some good chisme.
Go find out, please.
And also, before we shut this episode off, I do want to say thank you so much for one of our viewers for submitting this topic idea for us.
Thank you.
We love reading your suggestions, your topic ideas, and honestly, we just love talking.
Literally, and again, this is all in our own free time, like outside of work and stuff. So we really do truly appreciate you listening, watching. But please leave a review and share if you can, because that'll help us in the most exponential way, and it's free. So.
Let us know if you want to hear about anything else. Just DM us, comment, or whatnot. Like, we will gladly touch base
on the topic.
Yes. And just remember, we create this content for you
and for us.
Well, I mean, for us too. So we go back and talking, but for you too.
We will see you in our next episode.
Stay tuned. Bye.